Well, today I'm out for a short ride because it really is cold. Probably too cold for cycling, but I haven't been out for a week. So I felt like I did want to ride a little bit. So I went out last week and I left it till the thick part of the day when the temperature was a little bit higher. And when I say a little bit higher, I'm still talking about 4 degrees. So I went out and it was a nice ride. It's doing quite well. I even got a PR on one sector without trying, just the way I was riding. I always find it interesting the way the cars race ahead of you so they can get in front and then brake harder at the traffic lights. So as I said, I was riding well and it was all going quite nicely. But the difficulty in winter is that I prefer to stay off main roads because of the low sun, dirty windscreens, shadows. It means it's more difficult for people to see you. But in the frosty weather, you need to be on the roads that are well used. And that was the mistake I made. I went down the route I'm on today. So I decided to go to Pencoed, round the roundabout, back down the dual carriageway, which is quite scary, but it's only for a couple of 100 yards and then you turn off and there's a minor road. Get me out of the traffic, thinking the temperature was high enough. And once you turn onto this minor road, there's no going back because you can't get back across the dual carriageway. And I thought the temperature was high enough. I thought all the ice had melted, but it hadn't. So I was riding along patches of ice, being really careful, and it made me a bit nervous. But I kept going. And then the road turned and I could see a shine on the road, which I knew was just a sheet of ice. And worse than that, with the winter sun being so low, it was right in my eyes. I couldn't see a bloody thing. I got off the bike and pushed. I hate people who do that. I pushed the bike for about half a mile till I came out into the sunny bit when the road was dry again. But wow, even just walking on that ice was scary stuff. and I realised just how foolish I'd been. So that's why I'm going so slow down this hill. Really isn't good out there. Out there? I mean out here. What's also quite interesting is that it seems every single person who owns a car is out in it, despite the weather. Traffic is unbelievable. I know, some of you live in cities are laughing, but I mean, compared to what we usually have around here. And that's the other problem with riding in winter, is despite the difficult, or in addition to the difficult lighting conditions, is the knowledge that car drivers hate us. So when I got home, later on we were watching one of those programs where people renovate houses. And this couple were looking for a bungalow to renovate because the guy had been out cycling slipped on some ice, broke his hip, which later on led to a stroke. And that's when I said, Steve, you've been really foolish here. Even though this is in the shade, I'm hoping it'll be all right because it's next to the dual carriageway. So it gets covered in grit. When the gritters go past, but the rest of it's in sun, so it should be all right. What I've decided to do is take a route where I can turn back if I come across anything that I don't like. After that ride, Saturday was my next day off, and it was so cold. We went out to the shops in the morning. It was absolutely freezing, and it didn't warm up all day. So I'm ashamed to say I didn't go out on the bike. And that's the first time since I've been riding that I've missed a day without having something else going on. I mean, obviously, when we're away visiting family and friends and things like that, it's different. But that was the first time I just didn't go out. And I had nothing else going on. Right, this looks a bit icy to me. So it's 5.6 miles. So if I turn around now, this should give me the 10 miles that I want to do, just to keep my fitness. How I long for the nicer weather. So I can start venturing out a bit further again. It's been quite a prolonged cold spell, which is obviously not unheard of. But it's not all that common in this part of South Wales. And I'm out on the Trek today. The Giant has gone in for service. I had all sorts of problems trying to index the gears. I lined up the chain with the sprockets and it wouldn't go up properly, which usually means the cable's a bit slack. So I put some tension in the cable and it went up the cassette nicely, and then it wouldn't come down. So I slackened it off a bit and it still wouldn't come down. So I slackened it off a bit more. And then it started going down, but sitting in between the cogs. Really was quite unfathomable. After 5 or 6 attempts, I decided that it was beyond my area of expertise. So I decided it could do with a service anyway. Because it's fair to say, it hasn't enjoyed anywhere near the love that the Trek has had. And the reason for that is purely financial. It's not that I don't enjoy the Giant, I really do. But it just costs so much less. So when it's pouring with rain and the roads are muddy, that's what I use. And I've got to say, it does feel good to be out on the bike. And it would have been so easy to just stay in the warm house today. Because it didn't feel like going when I got up this morning. So yeah, everybody's under pressure. They've got to get there now. And that's why they're always pushing their way in and trying to run you off the road. And that's what causes the hatred of cyclists. It's not you personally, it's an object that's in their way, their God-given right of way. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's really nice being out and staying dry, but yeah, I don't know what's best, the cold or the wet. I'll tell you what's best, summer. Thank you.